Off a great run. You know, they were kind of doubted in both their last two series, whether they'd win, even get through, and they've persisted. And it feels like they're in the same situation we were the first championship run, where it's kind of them against the world. They're everyone's favourite team right now because of the underdogs. So we've got to be very careful. They'll come out very passionately, and there'll be a lot of emotion running high for those guys. But at the same time, we need to try to use that against them, because they've been in this situation with all this extra attention and the grind of just getting to game one. Sometimes in the finals can take a lot out of you, because there's a lot of different things in your routine that you're not used to doing.
When you were in the NBL, your sights set on getting back here at some point, or was it more of a graduate thing?
It wasn't even a graduate thing. When I signed the NBL, I was more than happy to hang my shoes up from the NBA and concentrate on the NBL, which I did. Didn't expect to come back. I wasn't even actively putting my name out to NBA teams to get a feel for whether I could come back. It eventuated with them reaching out to me and just kind of kicking the tires to see if I'd be interested. And I said, possibly, let's just see what happens through the NBL season, which was February, March, and if something's available, we'll chat then. And it's like a roster spot, so it all kind of came together pretty quickly. But yeah, it wasn't a case of me contacting my agent and contacting teams like, hey, we need to get back in the NBA. I was more than content to have an off-season starting in March and get some rest. An opportunity and a call came from the Golden State Warriors. Who obviously listened.
Is it a little surreal being back here again?
Yeah, it is. It's full circle for me. Obviously, a very special time in my career was with the Golden State Warriors. To have an opportunity to come back in any capacity, whether it's one game or not playing at all, was just something I couldn't pass up.
I was playing back home for the.
It was good. The league's an up-and-coming league. As we saw yesterday, with one of the top high school prospects signing over there, and it's getting better. You know, the league's taking its hits over the last decade or so. But new ownership group have taken over the league, a new commissioner. I feel like the league's starting to get some momentum in a positive direction. There's still work to do, but it's been a really good 12 months for the league, and hopefully it continues.
Actually, one question. So I guess you guys had 10 days off. Raptors had 5 days off. Do you think that kind of there's a pros and cons kind of to that different kind of time off there, mentally and
maybe
physically?
Maybe a little bit. You know, they obviously just came out of a tough series. We finished ours off pretty early. But once you get to this point, I mean, you can argue it either way. Depending on who wins game one, you can write a story saying helped or hindered us. So we're not too worried about it. We definitely were a team that needed those rest days. We have a lot of guys that were banged up at that point with Andre and also KD and Simon. So we cherish those days and got some time to spend at home with our families before this circuit starts.
From what you've seen, what impresses you about the way they've defended the playoffs?
Well, they have length first and foremost. Pretty much in all their positions, they have length. Kyrie's not as Noel's not as long, but Bulldog, defensively, he takes a lot of charges. He's physical. He's a high basketball IQ guy. I think his effect on a lot of games aren't statistical, in my opinion. I think he does a lot of little things that don't show up on the stat sheet. You throw in Kawhi, Siaka, they've got Ibaka off the bench, Gasol. Danny Green's a pretty good defender. You know, they got some guys that can defend. So they pose a lot of issues for most teams. You know, they can switch 1 through 5 at times, especially with Ibaka at the 5. So we just got to make sure we're not losing the ball. That's something that we kind of have as a staple coming into this series. If we're loose with the ball and not fundamental with our ball handling and passing, they get in the lanes, Siakam and those guys can get out and run. We're in some trouble.
Andrew, when you look at a guy like Draymond and a guy like Kyle Lowry, do you see similarities in the way those sell out physically to extend possessions, and how valuable is it to have important good players on your team win sort of those hustle plays?
Yeah, really important. I mean, unfortunately, in today's kind of sporting landscape, everyone just looks at a stat sheet, the game, and judges players based on what they have in the box score. They don't even watch games, but when you watch a game and you know anything about basketball, those two guys are prime examples of people that affect the game in so many different ways that you can't really, add up and put on a stat sheet. They're kind of the emotional leaders of their team, I think, for both guys. Kyle's always up and in, and likes to get physical, and take charges, and get on the floor, and get on loose balls. And Draymond's much the same. So we know that both those guys are vital for either team to win.
When you say emotional leadership, what do you mean by that? Is it just sort of like kind of the guys that push and get things kind of...
Yeah, they're physical. They get on loose balls. You know, they're happy to do the little things that win basketball games that might not show up on stat sheet. Like I said, I mean, Draymond for us, just grabbing rebounds and being a wrecking ball, pushing the ball. He might not get an assist on the possession, but he opens up somebody else. His IQ to be able to switch 1 through 5, plug up the paint, and know when to help and when not to help. They're very important. So those guys, you know, they show up in games like in a series like this, in a series like last series, because games in the playoffs, they do get bogged down. You got to have guys. Those 1% possessions are very important.
The regular season matchups. I mean, you weren't here. Cousins didn't play. Marcus All wasn't a Raptor yet. There's a bunch of guys injured. Like, does it change preparation when like you don't really have a lot to go on in terms of individual matchups with these teams as constructed now?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. But at the same time, you know, our regular season was, even before I got there, we had injuries and guys in and out of lineups. They obviously had Valanciunas from 1 or 2 of the games. So yeah, it is completely different. We feel like we're facing a fresh new team that's playing kind of different basketball than what we always played earlier in the season. They might feel the same about us. Obviously, with KD out of the lineup, we've changed the way we play a little bit. Made some tweaks. We obviously go much deeper into our bench, 11, 12, 13 guys sometimes. So they'll probably think the same thing. It's going to be game 1's going to be a big feel-it-out game to see how teams adjust from it.
A lot of people are catching on to McKinney's.
Houston and that early series in vital moments of game 6 and game 4. A great guy in the locker room, you know, comes in, puts his work in, shooting the 3 ball at a clip, and he gets a lot of extra possessions for us as well. You know, he's a very good offensive rebounder, very athletic, very strong. So it's a great story. I mean, a lot of Looney. I mean, we have a lot of guys off our bench that continue to surprise people and aren't probably getting enough credit because we have Steph, Clay, KD, Draymond, Marcus. Our bench guys don't probably get as much attention, but I think that's kind of a reason why we're successful.
You came in via open tryout in the G League and the league too. It's
a great story. I mean, it's a great story, not just for us, but for young kids out there that don't get drafted, and kids that don't have great college careers. We went to UW Green Bay. Like, it's not a hotbed for NBA scouts by any means. He's gone on his way into an NBA career, and I think he'll have a very successful career.
What's your take on the new Draymond? He lost 23 pounds. It's like he's a pretty good player during the regular season also.
I'm not sure. I mean, he's found something, whatever he's found, working for him. I think he understands that, you know, maybe that second final series when he got suspended, how much it hurt us not having him out there, and I think he knows, you know, we can't afford to have him miss a game. So he's definitely toned off the refs, which has been great. He's an emotional guy, so you kind of don't want to bottle that up and put it away. Don't be emotional at all. You want him to be right on that line because that's what makes him so successful. But at the same time, we can't afford to have him, you know, get another T or suspended. As far as his diet, I'm not sure. Who knows? Maybe just eat less.
You've done that before. A few years ago, low sugar and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe it's the age. Once you get a little bit older, you gotta try to take any advantage you can. Obviously, the extra amounts of fat and sugar when you're in your late 20s and early 30s. Last one, okay, the big dog.
Unemotional leaders like Draymond and Bogut, and yet during the last series they started talking to Toronto from their team about Kawhi. Even Keely, publicly, he's saying that Keely wants to agree. How do you know when a team needs one versus the other? An emotional guy or that steady guy?
It's a mix of both. You know, if a team obviously goes on a run against you, you want that steady guy to just kind of steady the ship and just get you a good shot or get you back in rhythm, which we have plenty of those guys. But there's a time to be said if someone goes on a run that you need an emotional guy to put a rocket up you and maybe a few obscenities and get guys going. So it's kind of a fine balance. I mean, Kawhi's almost robotic with the way he goes about things. Which is the complete opposite of Draymond, obviously, so it's a good matchup. Right, appreciate it.